Okay, let's hope this doesn't fall. Hey everyone, it's me, it's JCK. I am finally etching out a tiny piece of time to talk to you all. And I know, it's been a long time. It's been months and months. I think the last video I did was before New Year. I mean, that's just telling you how long it's been. And I have kind of an excuse for it and kind of not. So let me just get you all caught up, because right now it's March. It's nearly the end of March. And I should have, made videos. I should have kept you all up to date. I'm still on social media, so I'm always talking on Facebook and communicating on Telegram and emails and things like that, and text messages or messages from audience members, emails from audience members. So I am talking and I am active. It's just that I've not been making videos, and I don't really have a massive excuse for it, but I do have kind of a thought process behind why I haven't been doing anything. So first of all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year in March. I think today's the 24th of March. Happy birthday to you if it's your birthday today. And hopefully I will get this video up straight away. That's the other thing. I recorded all of these videos and footage and stuff for vlogs, and I didn't upload them. And we're talking for months I've been doing this. I've been putting videos together and then nothing happens. And thank goodness I wasn't live, because my phone just fell. That's going to keep happening. The suction cup on this thing is not going to hold. So I missed you all. I missed you all so much. I missed you all. I missed chatting and the conversations that the community would have. I missed the questions and, everybody asking and speculating on things in the world and the universe and all about our existence. And I miss all of that. And I think a lot of people assumed that because, I found Christ at the end of 2023, believe it or not. It's okay. Take two. Phone keeps falling, so now I'm going to have to hold it with my hand. Oh, Lord. It's always something. So a lot of people assume that because I've found Christ and I am a follower of Christ now, which is a 180-degree turn from what I believed for decades about the universe and our existence and our and how the world operates, etc. It's not something that I expected, but it's something that I absolutely love, and I love Jesus, and I'm not afraid to say that. But people are blaming that on everything. I've had emails from people telling me that, that I'm turning my back on my friends. I'm like, no, I still talk to everyone that I'm close to, no matter what they believe in. And, I kind of want to say to everybody, if you could just think of it like this. Okay, if I was a smoker, let's pretend I was a smoker for 40 years, okay? 30 years, I'm not old enough to be. 30 years. Let's say I started smoking when I was a teenager. And I was a good smoker, and I made videos about smoking, and I would relish in the smoking. I'd talk about vapes, and I'd talk about all the different types of tobacco. And then something happened to my health, and one day I woke up and I said, I can't do that anymore, because I know where that's headed if I keep doing that. And a spiritual moment happens for me and I stop smoking. Now, does that mean that I hate my friends who smoke? No. Does it mean that I don't talk to my friends who still smoke? No. Would I warn my friends who still smoke that maybe smoking is not good for you? Yes. But it doesn't mean I judge them or hate them, because I was there once before. So I hope you understand that analogy, and I hope you understand that just because somebody has a belief system, don't condemn that person based on very bad examples of that belief system, if that makes sense. So if there's a whole bunch of very judgmental people from a particular faith, don't assume that the person that you know who is of that faith is going to be judgmental. It doesn't work like that. And I had a lot of friends and acquaintances who don't believe in Christianity, and they've turned against me. They don't talk to me. They cut me out of their life. They stopped talking to me, blocked me, whatever. And I didn't do anything. I didn't judge them. So just going to let you know that that's happening. But it doesn't mean I've turned my back on my audience for that reason. So what has been happening is I have completely had to recalibrate my entire life. And I'd say that one of the biggest things that has happened to me is I actually went through menopause, and it happened really quickly. And here I was, getting, going to naturopaths, going to all these people, speaking to Jeremy Ayre, and nobody ever got to nobody suspected that that's what it was. They kept thinking it was something else. And it was only as I was going through it and coming out the other end of it that I realized, it's menopause. Okay, I get it. I get why I feel like I can't get out of bed some days. I get why I think I have chronic fatigue. I get why I feel like my brain's not working the way it used to. My brain was just not functioning. I went from a really high-functioning intellectual person who could juggle 500 things to not being able to focus on anything but one thing at a time. And to go through 18 months of that, and I'd say that probably the reduced frequency of my videos has got a lot to do with that. I just hope that any of you who've been through that, and a vast majority of my audience are women of the age of menopause and around about that age, so most of you understand what I'm talking about, or you're going through that right now. My sister, who's older than me, is going through that right now, and she's telling me I feel like I'm going crazy, and I'm just like, yep, that's exactly what happens when your hormones tank. If you're a man and you're listening to this, please don't, think, oh, I don't want to hear it. This is normal. It's a very normal part of life, and we can't help it. Can't help that your hormones are going to do that. So it changes everything about you, and I'd say that that's probably a massive, significant change for me in my life. And not only that, I moved house, I renovated our house, I'm now, most of my time during the week is taken up by full-time homeschooling, not unschooling, which is what I was doing before, or, just that free form of homeschooling. Like, we're literally having lessons online and having to participate in class and things like that. And I have to be there 5 days a week for my daughter, sitting beside her, submitting her work. It's like I'm her teacher, but I'm also, guiding her, and that's really involved, but I love it. I think it's great. So this thing keeps falling. Sorry. So let me do it again. I've got a little bit of time. Whoops, see? Not working. Gonna have to just hold it up here. A little bit of time because I've got an appointment now. And so the thing with what's been happening is basically I had to recalibrate everything in my life. How do I do things? What was working before, what's not working now? How do I see the world? I'm a completely different person. And when you are also, the spiritual side, so we've got body, mind, soul, completely changed. This is why I changed the name of my video, my YouTube channel, because I'm a completely different person than 2020 JC. Okay, and I bet you most of you who are watching this have had the same sort of experiences, that you're a completely different person than the person you were in 2020. Maybe you started an initiative at that time, and then as things developed and progressed, you became a different person. You decided that you don't believe that thing anymore, or you've got more information about that thing. Politically, a lot of my thoughts not necessarily changed, but getting more information and getting more information about what I believe in and what I don't believe in. Some things I know less about. Like I'm like, I don't even know what's going on anymore with that thing. So yeah, and also just because my YouTube channel started, if you go back, I did leave my first 4 videos on the channel, which made me go viral. And you've got to understand, I was doing astral journeying back then. Astral journeying as a Christian, you can't do that. You're not supposed to engage in anything that's kind of it's that kind of foggy kind of anything like ayahuasca or taking trips or mushrooms or whatever. You're actually not supposed to do anything like that, because you're told to be of sober mind. That's what God tells us to be, of sober mind, and to not partake in spirit communication. It's very dangerous, and I believe that to be true because I've experienced that. I know it to be true. So when I look back at the astral journeys, I just question, I know I saw those things, but who was putting those visions in my head is what I'm questioning. And I think it was interference. Now, people who believe in Gnostic sort of beliefs, they call them archons. From a Judeo-Christian perspective, they're known as demons. And this is for all spirit stuff, okay? So even if they portray themselves as very benevolent and beings of light, those entities from that etheric realm are spiritually dangerous. They're deceptive. They're trickster spirits, and this is why we're told not to communicate with them. God's not like, hey, you down there having fun, stop doing that. It's not what it's about. It's about protecting you from danger that will steer you off course away from your Heavenly Father, if that makes sense. So that's what the entities want to do. They want you to have different narratives. They want you to believe that they created you, that aliens created you. They want you to believe that God doesn't matter and the Bible's a load of rubbish. And so they'll do anything to sort of steer you away from that. And that's part of why, and they're dark. They're dark entities. That's part of why, we're forbidden to do that stuff. So when I look back on those videos, I see innocence in me, and I see gullibility. I see that I was a bit gullible because, spent at the time, 28, 30 years, 32 years now of communicating with spirits as a medium. And, but the thing is, here's the thing, even though I see it as deceptive spirits led me down that path, what I've learned from the audience is that God always had his hand on everything. So even if a negative force is trying to steer you away down a particular path, you'll get this with a lot of people who've taken drugs or they've had really failed relationships and very negative sort of situations, that even though they've been down this path that is leading them to destruction, that God kind of has his hand on them to steer them back away from that, and that although this information was put out there, there was a lot of good that God sort of steers you away and helps you to formulate your journey back to him. And so does that make sense? That's what I think now. The other reason why I guess I haven't been producing videos is I'm such a different person now. I look back at the old me and I go, wow, as much as I thought I was doing this for a higher purpose, I really think after a while I was feeling a thrill from being on social media. And to be honest with you, I don't get that I don't get that thrill. I don't get that thrill anymore. I don't feel like I need to show myself. The purpose behind wanting to still do videos is no longer about me. It's not adoration of me. And when I say it's not about me, is of course I'm going to tell you my opinion, but I don't really care what you think. Whereas before I really cared about it. I don't really, I don't need to be loved by everyone on social media. I know social media is very fickle. I don't need to chase likes and subscribers. Not that I was doing that before. I wasn't chasing it, but it's always in the back of your head. It's always a thing of, oh, that video did really well because it got more likes, and it lures you in, especially if a video of yours gets really popular and is viral. It really lures you in. It lures you in that I'm the top person in this field, or I'm, really adored, and all these people love my videos, and all the wonderful comments. And I think that sort of lures you in, and it just goes to show that things of the world are not, they've always got a demonic sort of influence. It's just, Satan sort of rules social media and music and all of those popular cultures type stuff, and there's good in it, in that good people can use it for good, but I think that for the most part social media is really damaging. But we can use it for education purposes. We can use it to create community, and that's what I intend to do. That's something I definitely got from a lot of audience members who've been emailing me or messaging me privately. They need community. They need help. I still, run Telegram groups and stuff. They've been put on private. I've put them as private just because we were getting a lot of spam bots and stuff. I've got one group called the God Talk group, and we've got this little community of people who, we just talk about our faith, and we share different bits of information, and we, sometimes we pray for other people and see how they're if they're suffering, and it's really helping. It's really helping a lot of people. Yeah, I've been recalibrating, and part of that is when you're coming out of menopause. So I'm postmenopausal now. I'm not on HRT yet, and just about to go to an appointment to have a talk about it. It's like I have to recalibrate my entire life and how I function. So before I just used to fly by the seat of my pants, and I didn't have any method for doing things. I wasn't organized. I sort of really rejected being organized for a long part of my life. It was kind of a rebellion against feeling trapped in previous situations in my life. And but the weird thing is I was a straight A student that was really organized, and it's a really weird psychological thing. No idea why. But now I really crave that. I really want to completely, organize my life in order to feel peace, in order to feel safe. To have that routine, and that wasn't there before, and I really needed the mental space and the to have that clarity, to be able to look at my family. And what I really love looking after my family. I just really love being a house mum. I really love being a mother who nurtures my family, who cooks for them from scratch. I've got all this footage that I did of me cooking different things and just talking through all of that, trying to help them navigate their way through a really difficult world. That's my focus, and I think that's probably the best gift you can give your families, no matter how small your family is, whether you're married or not. I think that's the best thing you can give to yourself and your family is learning how to navigate the difficulties in the world and what the world tells you is happening to make you afraid, so that you can have this sanctuary of safety and stability and peace. And that's where my focus has been. And sometimes, just making content for the sake of content, to stay on top of political events, to give you my opinion about something as though I'm the authority on that thing, I don't think it's nothing that I'm interested in anymore. I'm not really interested in acting as though I'm an authority on certain things. I just think that I have an opinion, happy to create a community where we discuss these opinions, but I'm not, I'm just an ordinary person. And I think when I first started my channel, the world was trying to tell me, you're extraordinary, you're special, you're a special psychic medium, oh, I loved your vision. And that kind of adulation, not that I believed it, but it's just a clue as to what is luring you and what's running social media. It's not of God. It's something that's quite demonic. That goes across the board for social media. I'm not talking about me. I just want to address one thing. There was someone, I've seen a few YouTube comments, people saying, yeah, I had to stop watching you a year ago or whatever because you were getting really dark. And I'm like, dude, my first video, I saw demons in hell underground. If that's not dark, I don't know what is, okay? You tell me I became dark? The first video was of me seeing demons in hell. How dark do you want it to get? You think that was of the light? That wasn't of the light. It's like, and people seem to think that, demonic things have to be really overt and, very blatantly deceptive. And that's not how these entities work. They just don't work like that. They don't. They're very subtle. They'll make you think that you're a god or a goddess. They'll make you think that you have power, that you can, speak to aliens in the sky and make you summon spaceships, and they'll make you believe all sorts of things, and you'll think it's of the light. And what I'm trying to tell people, just like as if I was a smoker, an ex-smoker who stopped smoking, and I'm trying to warn my friends who are smokers, I'm trying to say to you, this is dangerous. This stuff, the spiritual stuff is dangerous. I know it's fun. It's great escapism. I know the stories all start to sound fantastical and amazing, and you want to believe that the universe is whatever you make it to be, but I've come to believe that the universe created by a God who is our Father in heaven has a very particular, clear distinction of what his creation is and what his creation does, and how part of his creation fell, and how they then try to deceive. And you and I both know, no matter what religion you are, you and I both know that the people that run this world are part of those fallen beings, okay? They worship those fallen beings. They worship those entities that fell from heaven, okay? And they've infiltrated people who are trying to follow the one true God, and they're trying to deceive you in every way. And there's going to be people out there who want to tell you that God doesn't exist, it's a demiurge, and the Bible's evil, Jesus is evil. They're going to try and tell you all sorts of things. And they're going to try and tell you that you are a God. And they're going to try and tell you that you created the universe. You are a fractal of God. This is what they're going to try and tell you. They're going to try and tell you that. And they're going to try and tell you that it's a trap. This universe is a trap. This reality is fake. It's a trap. I was one of them. I was one of them that said that stuff. I don't believe that anymore, and what I believe is that Satan is the greatest deceiver. And what I believe is that what this creation is a fallen version of what God intended for us. God took a step back when humans decided that they would side with Satan and believe his lies. And he still has a hold of us, cradling us gently, but because he loves us, he gives us free will to decide. Now, does that mean we're trapped in a matrix? I don't think we're trapped. There's a way out. And Jesus told us it was him. He was the way, the truth, and the life. And that nobody gets out of here and gets to the Father except through him. That's why I believe what I believe now. You don't have to believe it. You can keep smoking. You can keep being the smoker. I'll be the ex-smoker. So I know in the comments you're going to sit there and write, oh, I don't believe that, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to write your little beliefs. You're going to write your beliefs and say, I'm wrong. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All I know is that this world is ruled by a particular type of people, infiltrated by secret societies like the Jesuits, like the Freemasons. They've infiltrated everything. They also run the truther movement. They run and put deception out there that a lot of people like to believe, and that we need to be careful. And also to not be part of this world, to know that you are, you're not to be too involved in what's going on in the world or too pulled in by it. Anyway, I better get going. I have an appointment. I don't even know what the time is. But I do want to say, one big thing I wanted to say is I wanted to show up. And I keep hearing that phrase from so many people is show up for yourself, show up for yourself. Well, I wanted to show up for you guys, and I think I'm going to do this more often. I'm really working on my health, which is, I'm feeling better. And, I'm losing weight and all that sort of stuff. And I just, I want to just check in on a regular basis and go with the flow. And I think that you can't be a content creator without creating. And then as you create, it flows and you get to know the direction you're going in. And I just want to say that, I'm still here. Yes, I've changed in terms of I feel like I'm more grounded. I feel like I have a more solid understanding of who I am and what my purpose is in life and things like that. But it's just, just had to catch up with you. That's all. It's been a long time between drinks. And I will say hello and goodbye, and I will see you very soon. And I'll try and put the other videos out that I recorded. I'll try and do that for you guys, okay? Please check links in the description below. Check that you're still subscribed. Subscribe to my mailing list so that you can be notified. And I will see you in the next video. See you later.